Mitch Bolo here for Eagle Radio. We are with a tribal council candidate. Welcome, Patrick Racette.
Glad to be here, Mitch. Thanks for having me.
All right, so first thing we're going to do here is run over the format. Pat, I have a pool of 50 questions that I have created with the help of AI. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and I'm going to pose a question. You can answer the question, or you can say pass. You can take as much or as little time on a question as you'd like. When you're ready to move on, just say next question. I will wait for you to say next question. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do here is make sure our timer's set. We'll get our track up, and we are off. Okay, first question is number 3. What's your vision for the tribe's future?
I don't think that it should necessarily be a matter of what my vision is for the tribe, but more along the lines of what I can do to help the tribe get better. I do have a few ideas that I think, as long as they're implemented properly, I think that I can help the tribe progress by way of communication with other state agencies, with the membership itself, and I think that my views would be an asset to the tribe. Thank you. Next question.
Number 28. How will you support veterans?
I've always supported veterans. I believe the steps that are being taken currently, and as long as there is a decent amount of communication with the veterans, we can work along to help assess their needs and get them to where they need to go. Next question, please.
Number 29. What is your plan for disaster preparedness?
Next question, please.
Number 1. What motivated you to run for tribal council?
I've actually been considering running for council for several years now. I didn't really have a firm understanding of just exactly how tribal government worked until I started working with the tribal government. And I think that my input, my view, my critical thinking skills would be an asset to the conversation with the rest of the tribal council. And I just think that I'd be a good fit. Next question.
Number 18. How will you promote language revitalization?
I would like to see just more workshops, more community engagement. I believe that we have some strong leaders within the community, and I think that by allowing them to maybe come up with some programs and work with the existing programs that are already in place, we can help spread the knowledge of our language a little bit more. And we really need that in order to progress as well as learn where we came from as a society. Next question.
Number 44. What's your plan for youth development?
I don't personally have a plan for youth development, but I believe that working with our educational system and the youth department, keeping the youth engaged will help to maybe deter them from getting into activities that might not be as beneficial to their growth as people. And I think just working together, we can help raise the youth as a village the way we should. Next question.
Number 36. How will you manage the tribal budget?
I personally would not be able to manage the budget myself, but I can help make the decisions to, or at least give my input for making better decisions concerning the tribal budget. Next question.
All right, and we just reached the 4-minute mark. Number 17, what cultural programs will you support?
I will support any and all cultural programs that will help us learn more about our culture, more about our past, and help us to move forward. I believe with inclusion of the education department, the language can be revitalized, as well as I like what the natural resources department is doing with activities pertaining to our treaty resources. And I believe that through that continued working together and collaboration, we'll be able to hopefully revitalize our culture a bit. Next question.
All right, this would probably be the last one. Number 42, what social services will you prioritize?
We'll pass on that one, please.
All right, next last one. What's your plan for cultural education?
I think I touched on that a little bit already, so we'll pass on that one as well.
Yes, sir. Number 8, how will you support small businesses?
How I personally support small businesses, I think is a little different than how the tribe should approach small businesses. I believe that the tribe should try to include some of the business models, work together to help grow the businesses. And I think that way we'll be able to help grow as a community and maybe incorporate some of those smaller businesses within the tribal, more of the tribal businesses, to be less individualized and more community oriented. Next question.
All right, and we've passed the time limit. Any last words to the listeners before we cut it?
Certainly. Might take me a second. I know that only about 52% of the voters turned out for the primary election, and I'd like to see a little more community engagement with the tribal council selection process. I feel as though it's really important to have your voice heard, and working together, taking part in the voting is the very first and most important step. But also reaching out to your council members, your candidates, will help keep them more in touch with what you as the community feel more important, with focusing on and moving forward. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I look forward to possibly helping affect more positive progress throughout the community. Thank you, Mitch.